All right, what is going on, everybody? So this is my final game of the playoffs season right here. So right now we're in the losers bracket. Basically, what happens is the two people who won their games face off, and the two people who lose face off, and then you've got first place, second place, and then you've got the loser and then the less loser, I suppose is the way to put it. I mean that's just as a joke. It's third and fourth place, and basically everyone who made playoffs is pretty good, pretty good. They've got some dank ass moves that they've been bringing to the table that's brought them this far. I mean, just everyone's a winner here. You know what I'm saying? But something I wanted to say really quickly before, because I didn't notice this in my replay with Bob, but the it was actually someone brought up about something about my damage calc that I kind of did right at the end. So I went over the replay to kind of double check it just to see. But while I went over it, I noticed something that I didn't bring up in the first time. Now, where is it? Am I dumb? Am I stupid? Am I blind? Yo, what's going on? Okay. Yeah. So basically, here's the thing. Before this game with Bob, I mean, you may not know this. Okay, this may be a shock to some of you guys, but I was really fucking nervous going into this game, man. I was really nervous, and I was talking with Gareth right before the game, and I was telling him, I was basically kind of like freaking out before the game. And I was really nervous. I was telling him how like I was gonna get 6-0'd by Bob, and then like everyone was gonna laugh at me, and everyone was gonna be like, "Oh wow, looks like he just lucked his way to the playoffs. He's actually ass at this game." So I was basically paranoid about that, and Gareth actually really calmed me down and really got me into like the groove of playing for the game. He really got me kind of just kind of calmed and focused. That's what I was looking for. He really got me calmed and focused and ready kind of for the game. And I probably would have done really bad against Bob this game if it wasn't for kind of Gareth, calming my mind, as they would say, call him Clefable and all that. But something that, like I said, that I didn't really notice in the chat was, look at this right here, man. Gareth is the greatest. Gareth is like the greatest person in the entire world. Shoutouts to date to. Oh my god, I can't speak. It's too early. Shoutouts to Gareth. He's the greatest person in the entire universe. So, just something I wanted to say right there. He's a great guy. Props on him. But anyways, we got the battle right here. He didn't actually bring the Escavalier, which is kind of funny because like I brought fucking Tangaberry, HP Fire, Cresselia specifically for that shit. So yeah, unfortunately, it's not going to work out for me. The things that I was going to run speed EVs for me for on here, where is it? I think I think I think this is where I realized that I didn't put the speed EVs on it. I'm like, oh well, that's unfortunate, but I'm not sure actually. I don't really remember the start of the battle. But the thing is, I didn't actually, fix the EVs and the sets that I was going to fix for against this matchup. So that's a little bit unfortunate. And by a little bit, I mean that's kind of very unfortunate. But like, what can you do? Actually, also, I think I wanted to outspeed Meloetta with Drapion as well. I don't think that's the other thing that I think I wanted to run speed for. So I'm pretty sure I did want to run a lot of speed on Drapion, because Assault Vest still would live Earth powers from Diancie and that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm not really. I wasn't able to pull that stuff off, which is a little bit unfortunate. But he does not have the Escavalier, which is good. So looking at this team right here, there's actually not really anything I'm afraid of. Now I mean, this sounds bad to say. It sounds really cocky, but like I going into this, I wasn't really afraid of this matchup at all. And like throughout this game, I play like I want to say I play like I don't think I played bad. I think I played really average though. I suppose like. Like I mean, like it's a really weird way to say that. Like you can say you're really good and you can say you're really bad, but like really average is just like a very strange way of saying something. Like how can you be extra normal? You know what I'm saying? I'm not really sure. But anyways, he's gonna lead off with the Diancie, and because he doesn't have the Escavalier, I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna be able to use HP Fire, so I might as well style on this man right here. So I leave with Cresselia as he's gonna lead with Diancie, and I know he's gonna protect, so I'm gonna hit him up with that HP Fire. You know what I'm saying? So I go for the HP Fire, and he's like, oh shit, son, here's the HP Steel. So say it ain't so. So he's gonna pull out into Celebi. I actually expected him to pull out into Suicune, so that's why I went Keldeo. I expect Stealth Rocks here, and that's a really, really bad for me because he goes for Thunder Wave. I didn't expect the Psychic move or the Grass move because I have so much in the back for it. But the getting the Thunder Wave off is really, really bad. So that's very unfortunate because that means I can't outspeed Landers, and that's a lot less things that can't outspeed Landers. I don't go for Pursuit here because I know Kuhn's going to come in, but I want to knock off the Chesto Berry. So that's basically my thought process. And with Kuhn coming in, I can basically gives me an opportunity to rapid spin, which is kind of nice. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. So gonna hit him up with that spin, get a nice meaty 4% off. You know, that's always nice. And because I've got so many really good switch-ins, I can afford to just play really, really safe. Like there's no reason for me to make really policy plays because like as you can see, nothing Diancie can do can really threaten Cresselia as long as I keep it safe. I go for that energy ball. You know, hit him up with those balls of steel. Celebi does come in, which is a thing. Celebi's just going to recover. I go for poison jab here and hide sight. That was a bad play on my part. I really should have pursued it this time. The game would have been probably a lot easier, but I wanted to get a poison on the Coon because like it's a 30% chance, so it's not like impossible. My thought process was like, well, if Coon's gonna have to switch into Drapion every time, I'm gonna get a poison eventually. It's like the Scald of physical things, so yeah, that's the thing. I go for a bad play here, going for the Secret Sword when I really should have gone for the Scald, but I mean. I don't know. That's just what I went for. Now I go for the style points right here, expecting the U-turn. So I actually just straight up lose my Gengar turn 15, like just in one turn. So yeah, that's pretty bad. I'm actually garbage at this game. I don't know why I made it to playoffs because I'm actually the worst player that like ever existed. So I just straight up lose my fucking Gengar in one turn. Yeah, so I think this is a good learning experience to not try to style because I was like, yo, he's going for that U-turn. Watch this play right here. It didn't work out for me. Yeah, so that's unfortunate. The other thing is I lived Bravebird from like not attack invested Crobat, but he is attack invested Crobat as we can as we can see. So that's always funny. Now I've got the Sableye out. The good thing is actually I can Mega Evolve, which is kind of nice. And you want to see a play? You want to see some real MLGS plays right here? Diancie comes in, right. Hit him up with that HP Steel. Give me that crit. And I mean, it's not hacks because I went for HP Steel predicting the crit. So really, it's all good. You know what I'm saying? Like, actually, I should have gotten a higher roll on the crit. It goes fucking special attack drop, man. This guy's hacking the shit out of me. Look at this. Look at this right here. No, but in all seriousness, like, Cresselia can wall this quite nicely. The crit kind of sucked for him because it means that I don't ever have to predict Diancie ever again. Because it can't switch into any attacks. I don't have to go for HP Steel with a Sableye. I can just always go for knockoff because it can't switch into it. Which is a thing. This comes in. I mean, it's not going for rocks or anything, but like I don't really think he's gonna double switch at that point, so that works out for me. I can just knock off kind of freely right here because I can get rid of an item. If it goes Coon, I guess that's the thing as well, but he didn't. So I can just knock off. It's doing a good amount to the Crobat. I really don't think he's gonna go into Diancie at this point, especially on like a especially when like I killed him with knockoff at that point. So I'm fair. It's pretty free to go for the Will-O-Wisp at that point, and I go for the knockoff here again, trying to catch the Diancie on the switch in case he wants to come in on the recover. That's not what happened, so that works out for me kind of nicely. Now got my specs got Spec Killed in on this. He goes for HP Psychic, I would assume, to hit all the things that take damage from Psychic. Scald kills the next turn, so I'm going to switch out into my um I don't know why I go into Tentacruel. I think that was just a bad play on my part. I think I'm just bad at this game. So yeah, I mean, I knew he was going to sell. I'm assuming I knew he was going to Celebi, so I don't know why I went into that. But again, I do have like the best count. I do have like a really good answer, I suppose, to the thing in the form of my Cresselia right here. Now, oh no, this isn't the turn. Never mind. Never mind. I go into Drapion here. It turns out he's the Relic Song set. So that's going to be pretty interesting. He's going to pull a nice double again into the Landorus. He's actually like he's playing a lot better than me this game, in terms of like aggressive plays. But like the thing is, again, my team, because it matches up so nicely, I really don't have to predict him too much. Like, as long as I keep things healthy and as long as I have like a relatively good amount of sacks anyway, like Cresselia can switch into Landers anyways from full. So as long as I have a good amount of sacks anyways, as long as I have a as long as I have a good amount of Pokemon and it's not just like Crest Sableye against his entire 6 Pokemon, I should be completely fine. So like I don't need to start making aggressive plays. So like there's no reason for me to make any aggressive plays. So yeah, I don't. I'm just playing really. I play kind of averagely for a lot of the games. Now I get the freeze on the Ice Beam right here, and it matters because I'm garbage at this game and I didn't fix my speed EVs. Now, I guess if you, I mean, it really depends on how much speed he was going to be running, but I was going to run a decent amount of speed because I really did, like, I was pretty afraid of Coon, as I said in the team builder. It was one of the things I was actually kind of afraid of. So, I do get the freeze, and it matters because I'm, like, really, really bad at this game, and I'm bad at making teams, and I'm bad at prepping for shit because if I wasn't an idiot, I would be outspeeding this and killing it off with Energy Ball. But yeah, that's not a thing. But kind of as punishment for me, anyways, for fucking up all my EVs, he's gonna outspeed me. He's gonna Scald to Dethaw, and he is gonna get the burn, which is a little unfortunate. When I say a little unfortunate, I mean quite unfortunate. Because yeah, that's the thing. I probably should have actually gone into like Drapion or something at that point, but like I really didn't want to risk that getting burned either. I don't know. I probably shouldn't have even risked Crest getting burned at all. But like I don't know, 30% chance seems like a chance to take anyways. So Crest being burned is actually really, really big. It means Meloetta is going to be able to 1v1 it a little bit better. It means a few other things are going to be able to deal a little bit more substantial damage to it, particularly stuff like Landorus and Diancie. So that's, of course, always a thing. Cross Poison's a 10% chance to poison, so I'm not really concerned about that, in all honesty. Yeah, I'm really not. I can just bring in this whole thing right here, and I go for the Acid Spray. Now, right here, this was actually, like I said, I was trying to play really safe this game because I had the win conditions. I just needed to make the right defensive plays. Like I think when people look at predictions, they look at offensive predictions and they look at like doubles and they look at like going for an attack on your opponent switching in, and those are the correct offensive plays. But like the correct defensive plays, I suppose. I mean, they're usually the obvious play, but well, actually, no, not so much because you have to make sure you come in on the right attacks. But I think I made all the right defensive plays just to preserve the win condition. And I think people don't really see that because it's just you switching into attacks. But I think I made the correct defensive plays for the majority of the match. I didn't make very many offensive plays at all, other than like the HP steal with Sableye, which wasn't even an offensive play because it was like Sableye in on friggin' Crobat. So like, I mean, what's Crobat doing to me? You know what I'm saying? This right here was the only offensive play I wanted to make this entire game and didn't make. Yeah, because like I said, you didn't really need to play offense. I didn't really need to play offensively, but I really wanted to make this play that I really wanted to make this play right here, and I didn't end up doing it. But what I wanted to do was go for Scald right here, expecting him to double, and I really wanted to do that, man. I was like so close to clicking Scald. I really wanted to do that. Not just, I mean, one of the reasons was because I could potentially he knows I could potentially be faster, and at -2, Sludge Bomb would kill, so I would expect him to either go into Crobat, which was, very low in health, or into Landorus, so I really wanted to Scald right here, I really did. But then at the end of the day, I'm like, no, you know what? I'm gonna be safe. I'm gonna be safe. I'm gonna be safe. Safety first, and that ends up not working out for me. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but it's just pretty unfortunate. Now, I kind of expect this is the turn he's going to go for Earth Power because I did just stay in with Keldeo, so kind of makes it seem like I don't want to risk the win condition at all. So just going to Moonlight here as I'm able to come in on the Earth Power, as I was kind of saying about making the right defensive plays. Now, I want to take the knockoff. That's why I stay in here. I want to take the knockoff because it means Landers' knockoff is going to be doing very, very little. And I go for Ice Beam because I'm not carrying Stab. This is actually the most powerful attacking move I can go for on the Meloetta. So I go for Ice Beam for, the reason that it's the only actual thing I can go for. I wasn't, like, praying for the freeze, despite, I guess, what people may think. But I do get the freeze. So, Cresselia pulling it through. Jesus, look at that. So, this thing gets frozen, and it stays frozen for the entire match, so that's really crappy for him. I definitely feel bad about that. That being said, Meloetta doesn't really do much against anything on my team, because not anything on my team. It doesn't do anything to Sableye, and I do have the Drapion as well. Like, he was Relic Song, but I do have those two Mons. Plus, it doesn't really do very much to Cresselia, and depending on his set, 'cause I know he's a Relic Song, I'm not sure if he is carrying Psychic moves. I'm not sure. I mean, I would assume maybe. I would assume it would because, like, my team's a little bit weak to Psychic, so. But I'm not really sure. But yeah, I get a free kill right here, which is kind of funny. I mean, really shitty, but like, at the end of the day, I had Sableye, so I'm not really sure how big of a difference that made. I mean, I'm not going to say like, yo, that didn't matter at all, yo. Don't worry about it. It's all good, trust me. Because like, yeah, that was kind of shitty. I will give her that. I mean, I would have lived. I would have guaranteed lived any hit from theirs, for sure. But yeah, it's just really crappy for him, especially since I can switch into Drapion right here pretty much for free, as opposed to having needed to go into Sableye if I wanted to beat this off, but I am able to go into this, and I go for knockoff because it's not like he has good switch-ins to this anyways. I probably could have just gone for, what's it called, the Pursuit anyways, but like I said, he doesn't really have solid switch-ins to this anyways, and making sure Crobat can't roost is always kind of nice. Yeah, so I go into Tentacruel on the knockoff, and I go into Cresselia on the Earth Power, just trying to conserve as many, I guess, sacks as I can. Now, I am going to double, predicting the Celebi to come in, and that kind of works out for me anyways. But the fact that I doubled, I guess, lets him know that I am going to be able to stop him. But I just knock off here again. He doesn't have a switch in, and he just stays in T-Waves because, again, he still doesn't have a switch in. I go for Pursuit. Like, he's not switching anyways. Now, if I was... really quickly, I want to say something right here. If I was running the speed DVs, like I said, that I wanted to be running for Celebi, I would have outsped it and not get Thunder Wave, but that doesn't matter at all this game because like I wouldn't be faster than anything anyways, and like yeah, it doesn't end up mattering. It's just kind of unfortunate that like I forgot to change it for that. But like, yeah, it makes absolutely no difference this game. It's just, a little bit of a shame. I mean, if I was running, no, I don't know. It really doesn't make a difference. But anyways, that comes in, and I do switch out. I'm just gonna sack off the Tentacruel at this point. It does go for the Earth Power. Takes out the Tentacruel. So rocks are there to stay, but like it's almost the end of the game right now. We are tied 3-3, but I still have a pretty big lead with just having Cress, Sableye, and Drapion deal with everything on his team. So yeah, that works for me. I think the other only offensive play, and it's not really offensive, it's just like a kind of prediction, is I go for Ice Beam here. I mean, I get a crit, but that doesn't really matter. I go for Ice Beam expecting like a double into Landorus at that point, and I mean, it doesn't really do anything at that point either. Pursuit could have been a thing here, but I did kind of want to get the knockoff on the Landorus, because knockoff can 2-hit KO, and this is the turn that I think he's going to knock me off now. I kind of want to touch on this really important. I kind of want to touch on this because this turn I think is a lot more important than people kind of realize. Like I think from everyone's perspective, it looks like I'm just like sacking off Drapion, and I think everyone's just like, oh, Matthew's, he's just sacking off Drapion. Like after we both make our play, I think everyone just looks at this as, oh, Matthew was just sacking off Drapion, and Pierre made an over prediction. But I would argue that it's not really that because I feel like okay, the thing is, the thing is like my team walls everything he has right now, right? Between Diancie, Landorus, and Meloetta. Those were the three he had. My three Pokemon that I have wall all three of his Pokemon. Partially. And when I say partially means some of my Pokemon wall some of his Pokemon, and the rest of my Pokemon wall the rest of his Pokemon. But each one of the things that wall the other thing can't switch into the other thing. If any of that shit makes sense. Like, Landorus, where Cresselia is at, switching Cresselia into Landorus is going to be pretty devastating to do. Plus, just Diancie is, it beats Sableye as well, and Meloetta as well. It's going to take a very long time for me to 1v1 it with Cresselia, and when I say long time, I mean it's not really going to happen because I'm burned, so that's a thing as well. So it basically has to be killed by either Sableye or Drapion, so it's not as if CRESS can just 1v1 everything. So this right here looks like I'm just sacking off Drapion, but if I expected him to go for the Earth Power, I would have gone into Cresselia. I really would have, because I did need Drapion, just as, if nothing else, as a pivot between some of the things that I couldn't deal with. So I really did need Drapion here, and I really stayed in just because I expected him to go for the Earth Power. Not Earth Power. I expected him to go for the knockoff. I really did, and he kind of had to make that play. Like, it doesn't look like he's in, like, 3-on-3 doesn't seem like he's insanely behind, but he has a frozen Meloetta and like 2 HP Diancie, so he kind of had to make the really aggressive play and play off me like choking and going into Cresselia, because, well, this thing loses to Cresselia anyway, so he kind of had to play off the choke and go for me, predict me to, go into Cresselia on the knockoff to try to keep this alive. So for that reason, that is pretty much the reason that I stayed in with Drapion. Not because I was sacking Drapion, but because I was making a, like I said, a defensive prediction, I suppose is the way of saying it. And defensive predictions never look as impressive. It looks like you're just stupid and you stayed in on, hey, Landorus. Defensive predictions never look as flashy as like, oh shit, he just doubled into this, So they never look as flashy, but I still think it was a play, and I still think, well, obviously it worked out for me because I did kill the Landers, so that worked out very nicely for me. He's able to bring in the Diancie here, and I mean, I don't have my Assault Vest anymore, so that is going to take me out. I mean, I'm not going to go into fucking Cresselia, risk the game right there, especially the health I was at, so that works out kind of nicely as well. Gonna Energy Ball as well, get the special defense drop, which, I mean, that doesn't matter either, but yeah, that's the thing. Going to Moonlight here, my best play probably was to stay in one more turn in case he wanted to double, but the thing is I had one Moonlight left, so I really didn't want to risk it too much. But hindsight, my best play was to stay in for one more turn and attack, just in case. In all honesty, like, it was my safest play. I lost very little. I still had one Moonlight left, so I really could have gone for it. Yeah, that's basically my thinking. I'm able to take out the Meloetta at this point, and he can bring in the Diancie, and I'm not going to fucking choke and go straight into Cresselia. So Sableye is going to go down, and I do bring in the God Cresselia, greatest Pokemon in the game. He goes for a Protect, as I, go hit him up with that HP Fire. The next turn, I'm like, I wonder if HP Fire doesn't kill, so that's why I didn't go for HP Fire again. Even if he got the double protect, I was still in range to live a hit. I think he had to play off the double protect into a crit anyways. So I mean, luckily enough, that didn't happen for me. So yeah, that's a thing. Anyways, that is the battle.